greatly being sponsored to NASCO as a presidential project. That's why the secretary or the press secretary said it was a presidential project. I mean, the minister of information, the deputy said it was MRU project. But yes, indeed, it's a presidential project, and that project is sponsored to NASCO. Not only that, the $500,000 that Grisby wrote NASCO, the late Sylvester Grisby, may his soul rest in perpetual peace, to provide 5 vehicles. And NASCO provided that. The same Grisby arranged with NASCO. When Rob Bush will have rope to surprise the president in FOIA. That's the origin of the construction of the FOIA home. That's why the president has assigned EPS officer there, the current EPS director has assigned EPS officer and police officer. Ready? We want to clean the coals in other people's eyes. We must be prepared now for the battle. And another correction I wanted to make. The entire audit that will be placed up, if they conclude the audit that has been ongoing almost a year, Pepsi web that have been dragged into this thing, I face a signature to no single document on presidential project. If you bring a single document, when she served at NASCO, where she affixed a signature to a singular presidential project at least, I would never, the emphasis ever appear on this program because I speak with certainty. Mwafi Kane, who is the deputy, one of the deputy at least, that provided you, Mame, with the information, ask Mwafi, the money they're taking for other presidential projects all around the corridor, I just name one, we're in the other one in the interim. We're in the other ones in the interim. This government is bestowed with a historic, heroic honor of massive corruption, and why they cannot remove or they could not replace the head of NASCO, they took Percy Webb off as a means of witch hunt. So I challenge President Boyka. I challenge him publicly, along with the current Minister of State, to take the head off.
Thank you.
People will waste, Cambo will flush, and people will waste.
Thank you, Akara. For us,
to NASCO.
Thank you. For us, what we're interested in most is for Cambo to flush and for the people to waste. We want to know.
That's what we are saying, indeed.
Yeah, we want to know who took state resources and diverted it into private use, regardless of where you are. Whether you are with CDC, whether you are with UP, regardless of where you are, one that can go to open. Let's go to Tamba.
The presidential project will speak to.
Thank you, Mame. Thank you, Mame.
Let's go to Tamba.
I think first of all, the information, Mame, that you've shared and all the pieces of evidences, but that regarding those transfers from NASCO, to contractors, to projects that may not have happened, raises serious concern. And I think one of the pieces of evidence that you share basically links the former pro tem Senator Albert Cheer to some of that corruption and missing funds. And I think the LACC or the government, whether it's LACC or GSC, should get at the bottom of that to really understand what happened with the funds. But the issue of NASCOP also cannot be taken lightly, because NASCOP, not only the director there is a tenure position, but NASCOP has been known as one of those entities where every government entity or every government of the day have tried to use their authority to tap into NASCOP resources to use some time or divert for other activities. And I think that's also something we should look at. But I'm not going to ignore the false equivalences being made by former Representative Gray to say, well, the president hasn't done X, Y, and Z. Let me just say this. Look, the buck always starts with the presidency in Liberia. The presidency is a powerful office, and we must acknowledge that. Now, can we say, we use these false equivalences to say this president is not fighting corruption, or has he exhibited the will to fight corruption? I think we've seen more suspensions over the last year and a half of this presidency under President Joseph Nyuma that we saw over the last 6 years of the CDC-led government. We see more willingness and suspension and willingness to prosecute and attempt to prosecute corrupt cases over the last year and a half or 2 years that we've seen over the last 6 years of the CDC-led government. Now, what is the role of the legislature? It's easy to say everything should go in the presidency. And I do acknowledge how strong and powerful the president is because he has the power of the press. But the legislature has the responsibility to help the presidency to set up these courts. Now, the president and his agenda is pushing to set up the corruption court at the same time as a war and economic crimes court. Those are things that should be encouraged, but not only encouraged, but it should be expedited if we have the resources to do that. Because the fight against corruption, Mame, I can tell you, it's not going to stop today. The fight against corruption will only stop. Will only stop when we begin to say, look, it doesn't matter which country you're from. It doesn't matter which political party you are supporting. It doesn't matter your connection with powerful people in government. But when you steal, when you mismanage, when you put your hand in the Liberian people's cookie jar and we catch you, we should deal with you. Look, we should prosecute you. We should make sure that we condemn you to long prison sentences. We should seize your property as per law, and we should shame you so that there can be no place for you. And the final thing I'm going to say is to make sure that corruption is a sustained fight. We need to change the laws on corruption. Right now, when you are found as a government official, you are found guilty of corruption, you are barred for 5 years from holding office. But I think we should change that. We should make that a lifetime so that when you are found guilty, in a court of competent jurisdiction, there should be no place for you to come back to work for the Liberian people. And that's how we can defeat corruption. That's how we can fight against corruption. That's how we can give power to the Liberian people to say, we elected you and you are here to fight on behalf of the people. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Tamba. And we'll move to Jeff. I know Akara announced that there are 8 other counties with housing units, housing projects. If Jeff can provide information on them or Akara can share information on them, it will be fine. Otherwise,
name the counties.
No, naming the county is not evidence that there's housing project there. Since you have all the information on the project, just share information on the housing project in the counties. That's what I was asking for. Well,
I shared in the chat room the last time when your question was somebody talk about housing project here.
You said there are housing projects in 8 counties. I'm saying I know about Bon County. I know about the Southeastern County Ground Crew.
You know what Bonnie do?
I'm saying all the evidence you get for housing project, if you can share in the chat room, it will be fine.
You know about Bonnie and Monserrato.
Can you share it in the chat room?
Okay.
Go ahead. What his name? Jeff.
Thank you, Mame, and thank you for the information you provided. And listen, Mame, when Waka gave his State of the Nation address, he said that he was going to establish a fast-track court, a special court for corruption. It's almost 2 years he has failed to do that. When President Weah took power here, the LACC was a toothless bulldog. In his quest to fight corruption, you know what he did? He gave the LACC the power to fight corruption, to investigate and prosecute corruption in our country. That's a good step towards fighting corruption. Until Waka can decide that he wants to actually fight corruption, establish the court, then we'll get done with all this speculation as to who is truly corrupt. But I like the fact that you talked about what happened at the NASCAR. But Mame, you did not talk about the 500,000 that was taken for NASCAR to give to Joseph Waka. You jumped over that. That was very, very bad for this government on the first day in office. 500,000 stolen from NASCAR to give to Waka, to Bakas. You should speak about that. You should be speaking about the $10 million home that is being constructed in Lofa for Waka. That money is also coming from NASCAR. And a good honorable Gray mentioned it here. We should be clear. And under the act that created NASCAR, NASCAR can contribute to Social Security, especially building homes for less fortunate people. Yes, so probably they did it under that act. But let's be clear, the lot of corruption committed under the previous government, even including the early Johnson Sirleaf government. Don't forget, Mame, Robert Sirleaf bankrupt Loka and walk away free. Those documents are there, but you're not talking about them. You only mentioning and cherry picking these few other reports that talked about the former government. No, Mame, we shouldn't. The last time you were not on the show, but I said if anybody should talk about corruption, my brother Mame, and this is in no way personal attack to you, Mame, because I respect you as a brother, right? But if anybody should talk about corruption, it shouldn't be you, my man. Especially you who benefited from a corrupt system. You are beneficiary, your creation of corruption. It was under the corrupt regime of Robert Sedi that you got scholarship to go study. You are a creature of corruption. So you shouldn't be talking about corruption, especially alluding that to previous regime. Let's talk about it. Who should talk about it? We from the CDC have the moral ground, the moral rectitude to speak to corruption because we fought corruption. We empower the NSCC now to fight corruption head on. So let's go forward. We want these people who have been named in this report to be prosecuted, to free themselves from this allegation in the other report. We want them, but what is happening? Bwaka is reneging on his commitment to fight corruption. It's almost 2 years now. One person under the previous regime has been convicted of corruption.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Jeff, thank you.
So, yes. So Bwaka should step on the game and fight corruption. Let's put this thing to an end.
Jefferson, thank you very much. You see, let me say this, guys. It's always good to have this show. Mama, sorry, I will give it back to you. But you know what? Somebody was saying in the corner and saying, I'm blaming Jefferson for saying this thing. Jeff, you're right. Because President Bwaka is supposed to be wasting time 2 years and we see no action.
No, Jeff, he shouldn't.
No, Jeff, my brother, I clap for you. I would never say you're wrong. Because for us to sit on this show and you saying that Sidi should have more right to speak on corruption, and just because Joseph Bwaka decided not to test you guys. And that's the problem we have. So for me, I'm going to leave the show today. I'm going to eat. Mama, you will continue the conversation. I'm leaving the show right now. I'm going to eat. Because at Clarence Gray, Jefferson Chelsea, Kanyo Barbara, the flip-flop, what you said, who else is in this here? They are right. They can go and talk. Do you think
I'm not a flip-flop CEO. I'm very consistent in my ideology.
I beg you ideology, not you. Do you think that
the great Kanyo Barbara,
I'm not a flip-flop. There are great knows
we should be here talking time at this time. And Jefferson Chelsea, Mattel's that CDC got moral right. Do you think Jefferson Chelsea should have anything? You know why? Because this man still have a job. The way from Bobo State can block because he paying everybody as the allegation goes.
And he will still have a job.
Because this man will not be touched because he know how to operate. Look at the board members.
But CEO, where is the evidence against this man?
Stop this interrupting me when I'm in Zico. I beg you, man. Please. This is wrong. To even see people come to insult us because we fighting corruption. To look at Jefferson Chelsea and at Clarence Gray telling us that we got no more right to talk. And because President Bwaka gave you power. Because President Bwaka want you to insult us. The Wolf and Boo, the National Social Security, cash cow. Everybody can tell that we ain't go. The man saying ain't going nowhere. He had invested $500,000 into the government getting vehicle prior to the government taking over. So nobody can talk. Look at LDC. Adam Sharif, 6 years with Money Captain. Money Captain enjoying your money. Is the government going after Money Captain? Have they even called Money Captain to question him? What did you do with the token money?
What is LCC doing with their prosecutorial powers?
But I beg you, with all due respect, Mr. Councilor, do not interrupt me. I beg you, sir. I know you will go in the corner again and go complain, say I can interrupt you, but sir, please, let's have some quorum. I beg you. It is wrong for us to come on the show. And after I finish talking to my people, I gotta go because it's hurting my head. Money Captain playing golf in Ghana. There's the man that will honor him, Alan Sharif, will put a picture up tomorrow. He's still on the job. After hundreds of $millions is out. Alan Sharif still get job, President Bwaka ain't doing nothing. Mohammed Sharif say Alan Sharif must stay there. Nobody will blame CDC. If we are serious to fight corruption, it will come from within. The game is it's just too much. Don't blame CDC. Brother, we can't sit down on this show and tell that we got no moral right to talk. Somebody that wasn't in government, they were in government. You can do picture whole day about person you can. And what? The government are touching them. You can do picture whole day about who, what's the other guy name? What's his name? This guy, about Che, former pro-10, and his boy. The government are touching them. You inside, you don't know. They're all under the water. Somebody protecting somebody. Is this rescue? You can put all the documents inside. Mommy, I told you today when you call me. I said, Mommy, my hair hurting. I'm tired. Because CDC will get the right to talk. They will insult us. They will laugh at us. And they will say, you can't touch this. MC Hammer, you can't touch it. And what they say was on the show.
Do not just quit. Don't touch this.
See you there around for a while. I don't know. You can't touch this.
See you is going to be dancing in Mukuta. MC Hammer.
That we can discuss it, but the Liberian people know the government is not ready to fight corruption. President Bwaka is not ready to fight corruption. President Bwaka tired. He cannot go after money captain. He tired. He cannot go after Adam Sharif. Adam Sharif, they're going to give the report. Mohammed Sharif, the MD or LDC, say he must hire Adam Sharif. The president tired. Will the president say no? The one Babu will stay there. Thank God he well now. He was sick. He went in there all this time, but he was controlling. Like when people get contract on him. Lawmakers then they get in the regular. And we here celebrating and seeing the poor people money down there. Mama, tell over. Mama, tell over. Mama, tell over.
So,
Man, don't escape. Where are you going?
If it doesn't fit, you must quit. So I'm going to quit tonight.
I don't know you go around.
If it doesn't fit, you must quit. Go ahead, Mama.
I don't know you go retreat.
I taking over. I will respond to Jeff, but before I do that, I will let other people to speak. Then I will come in. So let's go.
Man, you moderating or you can't.
But Jeff, I just tell you that I will respond to you.
If you respond to me, I will respond.
So let's go to Fubi.
If you respond, you give me a chance to respond because you moderating.
No, it will come to you when you go around.
Jeff, start stepping back. The man are moderator. So I'm just reminded about the book, The Gods Are Not to Blame. They say when the farm owner is
just to refresh, there are two issues here. 300,000 for Eastern Solution for 4 schools in Grand Cru, and then 2 million to Lace for construction of housing projects.
Yeah, and I'm reminded about the gods are not to blame. So the farm owner is slow to call the thief. The thief call the farm owner thief. And the guy was CDC men talking about they got moral right to talk about corruption. But on a sad note, I've always been championing this old NASCOP stuff, and I've always spoken against NASCOP being used as a cash cow for governments, past and present. You know, the money that we save, we put in NASCOP, our pension fund. NASCOP have not activated the welfare component of the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation. So they're using our pension fund to be funding government activities. And people go to NASCOP to get their pension benefits. Some of them getting peanuts and some of them getting nothing at all. So it's a disaster. And now we're seeing where all these good are going and other reports will keep coming up. And we hope that, you know, that kind of say, look, we can all we can all say, oh, the president can't take blame, the president can't prosecute. The president guides function, the court guides function. So when they forward cases to court, then the court will act. You can't hold the president for that. So, but we want to see NASCOP. We want to see NASCOP. You know, the point. We raise all the point and say, "Oh, NASCOP did it before. They did it the other person." No, we're not going to start. Why you left the 500,000 grace bill requested for? At this stage, we're discussing the other report giving 300,000 for a project
Is
in
there an audit
Grenville, and
report already?
you cannot see a single school being built there. That's first thing that we need to is an eye opener. Giving $2 million for a project that was also funded by the Japanese fully, that also is an eye opener. So those that sit on the whole management team for NASCO, after we've taken an audit report, we hope that the LACC and the Ministry of Justice will take serious action to get these guys before court and let them go and answer to this. And every government, you keep hearing this thing about NASCO. NASCO funded this other stuff. NASCO funded this other stuff. People request for their statements, their pension statement. How much do you have? NASCO cannot provide it. Liberia has one of the worst pension laws in the region, if not the worst. You retire in Liberia, it's like a curse, the death sentence. But yet instead, NASCO using our pension money to be funding government activity, where government should be contributing hugely to NASCO. People in government, they are not even paid their pension benefits to NASCO. Those different entities have withheld those money from their employees, but they are not remitted to NASCO. But yet instead, you see NASCO funding government projects all around the country, and that's sad. And we hope that with this kind of report, there should be serious action taken, and it shouldn't just be one of those regular audit reports that we just read for the sake of reading it. $300,000 is not peanuts. Like Tama was asking that Liberia, no, it can't be Liberia, because Liberia will be insignificant for the audit report even raise that. And $2 million to list for project that you cannot even verify. Those are stuff. So we can't be yelling and saying, "Oh, we got eight projects around the country." No, it's not about project. It's about specific. The audit was specific. It pointed to where they said the money was diverted to use. So you can't be saying you got 8 other countries that are doing the same presidential project.
Thank you. Thank you, Fubi. And Fubi, on the NASCO thing, I think it's important for us to clarify here. Part of the reason why people do not receive their pension money is because institutions that they work with do not remit their pension money. Go see GSC audit report, almost all the different government institutions. They do not remit pension money. So the people are working, they're deducting pension money from them, but they're not remitting the pension money. So
what did GSC report on NASCO that you want can yes see, won't see it?
Akaro's back. Give me a chance now.
No, put it up. Let's see.
Okay, Akara, I'm going to put it in the chat room. Let me put it in the chat room. I'm going to put the LRA, GSC, and LEC report in the chat room.
Please put it there, NASCO audit report.
So the point I was making to you, Fubi, check almost all the different audit reports across government. GSC continuously report that institutions subtract pension but do not remit to NASCO. So at the end of the day, these people work when they retire and go to NASCO, no money there for them because the institutions they work for did not remit their pension money. I just wanted to make that clear as we move forward. But it's to you, Kanyo.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. I just wanted to rehash a particular point before I come to the whole audit report. And I hope this point actually sinks in.
No, wait. Yeah, can you wait? You spoke already.
Why is it interrupting me again?
No, it's important. It's important. You spoke already. We'll go back around.
No, I did not speak on this matter. I was next in line, my man. No, I did not. No, CEO don't lie. CEO don't lie. It's not fair. I'm speaking now.
You are the first to speak on the team.
No, why are you stop me?
No, but you speaking about the issue of the court.
I was speaking about it. You people interrupting me.
Akara's way. Who or her can you speaking? Please play your hand up. Okay, Kayo. The verdict sustained. We'll move on. Thank you.
We'll move to Brother Wilfred. Kanye will come back around, but you spoke already.
Okay, thank you. The name is Winfred.
Winfred, sorry.
All right. You know, it gets really nauseating hearing these two political parties, folks on these two political parties, Unity Party on one side and the CDC on one side, bickering about corruption and who is corrupt and who is more corrupt and who is not more corrupt. I mean, it's sickening. I mean, sincerely, because none of them, as far as I'm concerned, none of these parties have any sort of moral right or known any moral ground to talk about who is corrupt or more corrupt and all of that. We have a serious problem in this country with corruption. At one time we talked about, oh, show the evidence. Then when the evidence comes out, then folks, they come up with another level of excuses. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, corruption is not all about, black and white. Show me this document, because that's one of the things that you hear a lot in Liberia. Oh, we don't have the document. Show us the document. Show us proof. Show us proof. But you see, one lawmaker or a government official building, massive homes and mansions. How are they getting the money? When Charles Taylor was arrested and took to The Hague, the UN employed some top-notch forensic accountants from all over the world to look for the loot of Charles Taylor. After 10 years or so, looking all over the world, they have not been able to identify any funds directly tied to Charles Taylor. So, and we all know, we were there, we saw, what was happening, in the country. Yet we keep saying, oh, show the evidence, show this, show that. So corruption is not always about black and white. We know there are a lot of corruption in the country. Corruption is also about hiring your auntie or your niece, or meeting your cousin at Royal Hotel or at Terracotta and shaking hands and kickbacks. All of those things are corruption. You're not going to have any sort of paperwork that points to that. But those are a lot of corruption, a lot of corrupt practices. So now we have evidence in black and white, and still we're finding excuses. So I mean, the information that you presented, Ambulai, is disturbing. It's disturbing. If you look at Transparency International and see the position of Liberia, it's disturbing. Yet we are making excuses and all of that. But as disturbing as it is, we still have to do our due diligence and prosecute these folks.
30 seconds, Winfred.
And prosecute these folks to the letter. I'm not going to scapegoat NASCORP and DeWitt Van Balmus, because he is not, or the folks in NASCORP are not just giving out this money nilly-willy. Where is it coming from? Who is making this request? These requests are coming from the highest echelon of the government. So we need to address that. We need to follow the paper trail and prosecute these folks. At the end of the day, in as much as we want to say we don't have an imperial presidency, we do. And the buck stop at the doorsteps of the mansion. And it's the president, whether you like it or not. We have issues here in Minnesota with fraud, and a lot of the agencies are there. They're prosecuting the county attorney. They're not saying talk to the county attorney office, talk to the chief prosecutor. The governor feet is to the fire. People are holding the governor's feet to the fire for all of the fraud and stuff that are going on with social service programs here. It's the same thing. So you can't come and say, oh, we have integrity institutions and we should go to them. It's not the president. It's with the president. It stopped at the doorsteps of the president. We have to hold him accountable. So, I mean, it's not about, we need to reject the politicians at the ballot box. You know, we can do that too, but we have to prosecute them and we have to hold them accountable. We can't be, you know, talking from both sides of our mouth.
Thank you, Winfred. Thank you, Winfred. But unfortunately, Winfred, we on the show, ordinary Liberians, do not have the authority to prosecute anybody. The only authority we have is to make decisions on who lead us in the future. But to prosecute, we don't have authority. So if you promise us and say you will prosecute, you will do this, and you come and fail, we have the authority to say we don't want you again. So Vendela, is your turn. From there, we'll go to Colonel Remy Gray.
Yeah, the previous speakers, they spoke for 3 minutes, 10 seconds. The last speaker spoke for 3 minutes, 28 seconds. So how many minutes do I have?
You got 2 minutes to speak. Go ahead.
Why giving me 2 minutes when all spoke for 3 minutes?
Vendela, you can make that forum a back-to-back. The moderator said you got 2 minutes.
You taking about how many minutes other bonus be?
Patrick, go ahead. You got 2 minutes, please.
No, hey, listen. No, let me just clarify. When all speak, we come here with the
I can just use your time to speak.
If my time is reduced, but you got to moderate the show. But wait, let me just say something.
You buying time on the show, yeah? You buying time? You people time on the show?
Chessing spoke. I have said this consistently, even when our brothers were in the CDC, they said we were not clear because we're telling them what to do to stay in power. And by now they be drinking champagne. They did not listen. Look, no government will do 100%. It's a fact. They will make the sweet promises during election, but they will never execute 100%. I want to see that president that will come to power and execute 100% of their promises. What we look at is we look at the political will. We look at the intentionality of the leader to see what he can do. It's a known fact that on this platform, there were certain individuals that thought they would never be dismissed or suspended. Today, they are gone. Just saying you talk about this NASCAR thing, I have engaged a lot of people, this 500K. When was this money disbursed? It was under the regime of CDC. We tried to be very legal. It was during the transition period. President Weah had the authority to say, no, a dime will not move from NASCAR. I am still in charge. When I turn power over to President Joseph Nyoma Boaka, if you want to go to NASCAR and empty the entire vault, it's up to y'all. But I'm taking into consideration accountability. There was a transition team, and Weah was in charge. This president had the opportunity at that time to say a dime will not leave, especially where it had a conflicting intent, because you were still in charge of the state. That did not happen. So if we should blame NASCAR for dishing out this money, the former president and the current president will have to hold them accountable. But look, somebody mentioned here that the president can do all. Yes, NASCAR has a board of directors. What are they doing? In some instances, the board will recommend and dismissal take place. The other report has come out. What is the board of directors is doing at NASCAR? Rather than just holding an individual, there is a bureaucracy in terms of governance. The board of directors of NASCAR is the highest decision-making body. So that brings me to this 300K to a friend. For me, I'm looking at the individual that received the money to construct the homes. What did they do with the money? Let's be very honest to ourselves. Assuming NASCAR was wrong to give the money, but an individual cannot make a unilateral decision to give 300,000 or 1 million out without the approval of the board of directors of NASCAR. The money left. I'm assuming without admitting that the board approved that money. This 300,000, Japan already paid for that. The other people pay for that. This individual in question, I think our emphasis should be, let them show what way they did with this 300,000. He needs to be prosecuted. There was a cahoot between he and NASCAR when he goes to court They say when you haul rope, rope haul butch. You talk about the audit report. I see people are crying here. You know, the president is now fighting. Just recently, the GAC audited the domestic debt. And our brothers here, they have to be very clear here and honest. Some of their people were hooked in the process. You know what they are saying now? That the GAC boss compromised that audit report so he can maintain a position. They don't accept that audit report because some people from the previous regimes, I mean, they were hooked. Imagine if this audit report was done under the regime of WIA. You know what will happen? It will disappear and gone for safekeeping. So we should be very happy that people are trying to fight fraud, waste, and abuse and make the system work. Whether it will be implemented, but at least we'll have an insight. But just the audit report, you question. This is the audit report that your former president appointed. You know, let me get 30 seconds. So if we are saying the fight against corruption is not holistic, I think that statement is ambiguous. It is good to recognize. You can still speak the truth without losing the originality of your voice. But I think the fact that the Auditor General is brave enough, your Auditor General, your former president appointed him. He did not do this under the former president. He's doing it now. In my mind, he feels secure. Why? Because you are now criticizing him. You are saying he must resign because he compromised the audit report to remain in power. This is wrong. I think you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. We'll go to Colonel Remy Gray, and then from there we'll come to Paul Kennedy.
But I ain't told yet though.
Yeah, well, if you know Colonel Remy Gray, Paul Kennedy, you spoke already. Yeah, can you? You're the one started the whole thing.
Who, me?
Yeah. Go ahead, Colonel Gray.
No, but Stanton, you know you have a special grease that you know how to rub situation with. So it's good to listen to you, you know, lastly. But I do subscribe to Vanderlak's statements and some of his own assertion in this topic. The issue is to fight corruption. Someone said LSCC was given teeth to bite. Prior, that entity was a toothless bulldog. They refer to them as. I would say they don't even have the mouth today to hold a set of teeth, let alone become a bulldog that bites. Until they can revisit the appointment of that agency, whether or not they're attorney, corruption will not be fought, you know, successfully, because there are partisan people in our place, and their own objective is to protect the thieves who are mentioned in some of those audit reports. And I tell you what, I think President Boakai is approaching meticulously. And I see there will be a judgment day. He has revisited the Supreme Court. One of the main pariahs that was there holding some of these issues down, she's no longer in there. We have a Yami Bese, and we have a new inclusive brother that was just sent there, Mr. Kane. Those people, and then the lady, I think, that is there. So there are three people that can say when the case gets there, it will be successfully handled. But until then, we can continue to kick the can down the road. Look, I wonder why DeWitt Van Vamos has sustained that job for 20 years. That's the natural life of most Liberians today. How well qualified is he? Is he the only qualified person? We know of the $500,000 that were disbursed during the incoming government, the incoming status of this administration, President Barker. But we don't know how much they used to fund George Weah campaign. I mean, for George Weah to get there and retain a key component of Madam Salif's administration in that same capacity something might have changed hands. And, now that this guy is the most qualified, well, he's doing something that most corrupt people do to sustain their job. That's why when they're bringing up issue of auditing that of that agency, things like this are coming up. That they give money to build school, and those schools are nowhere to be found. You know what? This is how he retains his job. This guy cannot be the only guy who knows about Social Security. And until we go deep, and I'm sure some of these things will come out, like the new Auditor General. It's not looking back at all. Whether or not he was brought in, he wants to retain his job. That's a good reason to even kick. Waste the chamber bucket so that everybody can smell it. And he's doing it effectively. This idea that when they say, oh, you this person, that person, so it will limit your ability to perform. God is working. The guy is exposing them. Now, with the change in that Supreme Court and some of these entities I'm talking, LACC, just sweep some of this regime, agency collaborators from there, and you will see some result. I think the president is in a good spot. He has goodwill, and that's why all of this are coming out. It's left for those agencies to prosecute people and then follow through. When they take appeal to the Supreme Court, they'll flag them down. And that's how we get justice eventually.
Thank you, Colonel Gray. We'll come to Paul Kennedy. Paul?
Thank you, Mame. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
All right, good. Look, listen, Mame, I've always said this. For Liberia to thrive, for Liberia to do well, we need leaders who are honest, who have integrity, who have vision, and who have empathy, right? Empathy to really feel the pain the ordinary people are feeling. Because not because you live in a slum, also means when they put you into a leadership position, you will automatically have the empathy. No, I've seen a lot of people who are dirt poor, living in the slum. They excel to leadership and they became some of the worst corrupt people in the country. Because you would think that because I live and grew up in Buze Quarter near Soniwe, so if I become a minister of finance, I will be trying to put more of my vision into creating wealth so that the people in the slum there can do well. But that's not the case for Liberia. Most of us get there and become self-aggrandizing. We only look for stuff for self. So that has perpetrated our corruption. You will continue to see corruption because people are selfish. They don't care how other people are doing. They are only trying to grasp for them and their family. That has been the case for Liberia. The only way that can stop is when you have a legislature who is making sure that their oversight responsibility of all of these agencies, whether it's NASCO, whether it's NOCAL, whatever the agency is, that their oversight responsibility is to the fullest point. Where we have legislatures who in themselves are trying to enriching themselves with the same missing all of the characteristics I just called, Liberia will continue to drain down into a mess. Now let's come back to the issue. NASCOP supposed to actually be doing development for pensioners, people who work all of their entire life, for our country, who don't have, once they pension you in Liberia, you are done. Because the $1,500 Liberian dollars or the $2,000 they're giving you can't even stay one day with you before I say a week. So the NASCOP should be looking at pioneering programs that can do housing development in the various counties for people who are retiring in those counties at low cost for them. But we understand that the Japanese people only, over the last few years, most of the money they pay for housing project were only for Grand Crew. And across Gray, you work in the last government, correct me if I'm wrong, that the most of the money spent on development, housing development for NASCOP was on different counties. But the money that was given by the Japanese government was only dedicated to housing projects in Grand Crew County.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to say here is this. Sometimes the envelope for funding this development project is not a lot, but just the thought of initiating them comes to do well for our country. And this is what NASCO started doing. Now, is this free of corruption? No. I mean, of course, you see the audit report. But we also need to go back to the audit report because some of the audit reports speak towards system errors, incomplete systems, and stuff like that, right? Now, is it corruption? We need to find the intent. So it's a broader picture we are looking at. But I just wanted to close up to say, listen, Mame, our Liberian people who are given the privilege to serve our people, need to be honest people. They need to have the integrity with vision and empathy before we serve. Or else keeps coming on spoon every day to talk the same thing we are talking, because corruption will continue to persist in our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And let me do my own, and then you can take over. I have to pay attention to something fast. So 2 things first, I will say. Popo Beach housing project in Monserrado was done in 2018, 2019. 2018 was dedicated. We are talking
but
about.
Mama, you speak again before all the other boys speak.
Come again.
I said you will speak again before everybody speak.
Let Mommy go ahead. Let Mommy finish. Because you got to run them with close up.
Popo Beach housing project was 2018 in Monserrado County. We are discussing about a $2 million payment in August of 2023. You get that, Paul? So when you name in your county that you say you get project in, don't put Popo Beach there regarding this August 2023 $2 million payment. It's not rational to do so. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, we're talking about a payment 2023 August, few months to election. It can't be Monserrado. If you claim that this project that you paid the $2 million for in August 2023 is for other counties, the only thing I asked for, show the pictures of the project in the other counties. That's all. The second thing, what is his name? Jefferson Chesson. We are from Broadview, Virginia, Jefferson. We all grew up there. Everybody knew us. From small children in the community. We came from there, we came to Monrovia, we went to school, we work places. Everybody knew us. When you're talking about integrity, you in Jamaica, I'm way in Liberia. We can't come near each other. Our friends in the community where we live and went to school, they know you and what you stand for, and they know me for what I stand for. From childhood days that I'm on spoon. So you are my second top integrity team. Everywhere you worked, your record is there. My record is there. I worked with the bank. I left. I worked with Nuka for 6 years. I challenged CDC to show me one thing I did at Nuka. 6 years. They could not. Even though I was opposed to them. But everywhere you work, your record is there. From childhood in the community in Broadway, on football field, in school, everything you did, the record there. Everything I did, the record there. But what I want to correct is, I came to school in 2018 of January. The people who Rawat Seli paid their school fee at Noka were Pepsi Yeke's wife. And the other people who job we are sent there when Rawat Seli was there. Call her and ask her. He sent her to school in America. That was when Rawat Seli was at Noka. I left to come to school in 2018. Rawat Seli was not to Noka. In our senior year, that same scholarship I sent me to school was cancelled. So don't bring who went to school on Noka. That Pepsi Yeke wife went to school fully funded on Noka in America. I came to school in 2018. As soon as I came, they canceled that scholarship. That's the fact I want to correct. But on integrity issue, I can't correct it. Everybody know us. They know you, they know me. From childhood day, in the community, on the football field, in the school, places we work. They know you, they know me. Thank you.
Didn't know you for.
So Stanton, let me respond.
No, you can't respond. Let get your friend a chance to talk now. You talk to the
Councilor, don't start any kind of fire, man. What you
I was just correcting you.
Yeah, you're correcting. Let me make my quick point. I think we are leaving the main issue here. The issue is not about Mambe or Jefferson Chessing. No. The issue is about our country. I want everybody to be fully aware the issue is about Liberia. We brought in President Bouaka. We beg him. We say Papa can deliver the country. To do what? To chase the rascal. To chase the hooligans. Those corrupt individuals. We begged President Bouaka. We sat with him. We spoke to him. We had some good conversation. He is so convincing that on day one, corruption is number one enemy. On day one, drugs is enemy number one. What happened today? Don't give us sweet words. Don't give us Sunday school story. How are you trying? We'll get there. That's not him. That's the code system. Blah, 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 blah. My friend, time. Click, 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 click. We are missing the mark. Make no mistake. This thing will not be done to our expectation. Because now the president's eyes is open, clear, clear, clear. The decision is in front of President Bouaka to make. Where is Money Captain today? LEC. With the LEC report so damaging. Where is Money Captain today? He playing golf in Ghana and South Africa, somewhere else around the world. Where is Money Captain today? If Joey come back, Money Captain coming back. And everything else is erased. And the Liberian people remain in abject poverty, darkness, and nobody can restore that place. On a Money Captain, Le Banco, they let people to buy token for LDC, Paul Kennedy. The report said they have never reported to the government call for the GST. On a Money Captain, there was no budget system that GSC can find. Who are helping Money Captain? Adam Sharif. We need to forget about attacking each other and tell Mr. President that's the reason why the Liberian people put you there. Adam Sharif still working. Mohammed Sharif said Adam Sharif must still be there. Where is the $17 to $100 million? Nobody calling for an investigation. Nobody, no one in the government questioning what become of the money. No one. But you want to tell us that Joria, he didn't pay hospital. That Joria, they didn't pay the one in Greenville. That's not what we're talking about. Liberian people, that's not what we're talking about. Just LDC alone. They have destroyed LDC and the pattern continues. Paul Kennedy, what Money Captain left back is happening today on the LDC. These guys, they are not remitting to the government. They are still selling current. JEP, from Nimakante, from Tuma company, they are not remitting. Le Banco is not remitting. You're putting each other and say who the smaller role. But where are these guys? They are still driving the luxury cars. They are still traveling. They are still within the government. So the question remains, what is President Bouaka doing? How long will it take the president to prosecute? Can we call Money Captain to come back in the country that will prosecute him? Can this president do that? Can the president question Money Captain and say, where is the Liberian people money? But we want to know, where is the Liberian people money, Money Captain? Where is the Liberian people? Hey, man. Where is the Liberian people money? Adam Sharif is still begging for his job. He's still begging Mohammed Sharif. So the purple, should Mohammed Sharif hire Adam Sharif? Should he still be there? He was the chief financial officer on the money captain. But you know where though? Tomorrow we'll give you the documents. Why should Adam Sharif still be there? He should be prosecuted. He should be taken to court. Money captain and his son Adam Sharif, both of them, should be questioned. But government not questioning anybody, even with the GSA report on LDC. So let me move. I beg for another 30 seconds. Let me move. Look at DeWitt. DeWitt gave 500,000 for motor vehicle. All the cars say DeWitt boy is all gone. You can't find one. DeWitt is getting in contract with the Lebanese people. Look at the Amajira Hospital. Every day they buy the machine, you can't find it. The allegation that DeWitt just bribing everybody. This allegation is concerning, but DeWitt still got his job. If DeWitt was so bad, our quiet, innocent, shining papi, Joseph Imabaga, why he's not calling for prosecutor on DeWitt? Why he came? Then he cancel other people. Now we get the thing. The president, I can't agree. He cancel other people taking position, right? DeWitt taking position is that's here. Let he cancel and prosecute DeWitt. Why is that not happening? But I know why it's not happening. The same DeWitt that make his way on a job maneware has made his way on a president black hat. You have eaten my car food. You can't talk against me. And that's the problem. So let's stop attacking each other. It's from up. CDC that small role, United Party that big role. Well, we don't need them. If we bring Joe Manawea in power tomorrow, Joe Manawea will keep the way, and he will bring back money captain. If you bring back Joe Manawea and say be president tomorrow, Kayo, I double dare you. Joe Manawea know these players. You know who contributed to the party headquarters? That is same guys then, the money captain and the DeWitt, they all contributing. That's the same guys then. Because they want to be in power after Joseph Boakai leaves. You know who supporting General something power in my country? Flotuma. The allegation that as per the report, they are not contributing. Flotuma from my country. Who protecting Flotuma? With this allegation, what can the government do? You eat your own, I eat my own. You chop, I chop, go back, chop. Back to the good. So they go, so they bad. But they will make people cola water. You can't touch it. You can't touch it. So we are the victim of our own decision, Kanyo. We begged for the change, but the change wasn't a change. The change was Una went to come there and chop my own too. Then I would go. The Liberian people problem will still be the same. May God save our state. May God save our country. But I do believe with the hope that the right person will come forth. I do believe that. Our country is King Joseph Boakai. Like I will tomorrow, check on ready. All the report in the chat room, the LRA report, you see it, you cry for yourself. What the what Jara doing? I think I just put it in the chat room. For the LRA GSC report, double Jara. The whole country is damaged. And I will end on this. The revolving door on the debt, that's something they call over 700 debt. That Gaswa saved the country. These people are going to court. They are challenging the court system. People from the finance ministry telling them to go to court. When the court call us to go testify, we're not show up. After 2-3 times, we come and say, the court will say, okay, the people not showing up, you're getting money. And once the court rule that Finabolo can get her money, nobody can stop it. Once the court rule that SSF can get his money, they get his money. $5.1 million went to SSF. Gaffa get a money check. $5.1 million because the court rule. George Boley, $2.3 million against George Boley. Because nobody could challenge them. You know why? These guys getting kickback. So they make sure they teach the people how to make the money. Go look at the GSC, court review. They pay George Boley $2.3 million. They pay SSF Fawad Hazazwa, whatever your Lebanese name is, $5.1 million. Is this the change we asked for? We come on the show every day, my friend. These guys, then they are sleeping in the Rakasan Hotel. They are enjoying themselves. They're playing golf. They don't care. They will come back. They will come back. They will come back. They will rake again and they will go. And the Liberian people will remain stupid. Look at our own former protest, Abochie. He enjoying himself. Nobody can touch him. Eton and Eboma coming back again. Abochie is right here. The government is rotting. The country is rotting. They go in the society house. They go in the society house. They just enjoy themselves and rake from the Liberian people. And every day we say, we're fighting for the people. Amoya, Awezu. Amoya, Awezu. You say Awezu, the man and cheering here, America cheering. You say Awezu, they're getting a fat bank account. And you all day you open it, people do. Muya, Amoya, Awezu. We got to think and find the right leader. All the other leaders we have, they are suckers. They are vampires. They are bats hanging from the tree, ready to suck the jackalope vein and take any which blood coming from there. And at the end of the day, you will find so many kind of Baba saying, I will CDC by a century. I will CDC by a century. No, I will deal with this guy according to the law that govern the show. May God save our state. May God bless you all. On this note, gentlemen, have a good night, yeah? The show finished.
How the show finish? The show can finish.
No.
In fact,
give us 30 seconds, man, to close.
You guys spoke, and I close, right, Councilor? Councilor Kanye, right?
No, Councilor,
let's take a vote. Let's take a vote.
No, my man.
Yeah,
let me see who all want to close.
All got to close.
But everybody closed, and I finalized that. Nelson, can you come on? Okay.
No.
Everybody will close to be fair, and our brother Kanye will be last.
But I gotta see you about executive action before. So
okay.
I have been given the executive action before. I said that, but now folks here that are part of the board, the chairman of the board, they are making a decision. So once the board speak, I gotta listen. Nelson, can you come on? Let's start with you. 2 minutes to
let me
thank you.
Thomas Aguilas, Paul Kennedy, yeah, it's lifted. Kanye, you will be last. You will take us home. I spoke already. I'm not speaking again. Guys, let's respect the 2 minutes and move on.
Thank you. Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution provides for the president to present his administration's legislative program for the ensuing session. That means before every session, the president got to provide his legislative programs, his administration's legislative programs. The president announced the establishment of a court to help the LSCC because, you know, a lot of activities going on in different sections of the court. So we need a special court. President Boyka, in 2 years, have failed to present a bill that will establish that court. In 2 years, he has failed. So you cannot shift the blame on the LSCC because there have been a lot of indictments, slow results from the court because we need a specific court to fast track court. The president failed to do that in 2 years, and you want to blame the LSCC instead of blaming the president in the president's constitutional function under Article 58. Mame asked some very important question about the locations of some of these housing units in the years. In Zozo District, Lofa County, 2023. In Salary, Lofa County, 2023. Between Bon and Lofa, Bonsa, the bridge there, Bonsa, that is 2023. As soon as you cross the bridge from Bon into Nimba County, that is around 2022. When you're approaching Ganta, another one there, that 2022. I just wanted to tell you that, look, when we come on the show, we come with concrete information. And I insist, especially when you talk about the 2M, I insist that nobody stole any money. Nobody. Audit, let the LSCC go and investigate. But what Mame and others have failed to flag, and they are escaping, that a minister of state who was not appointed unilaterally wrote NASCO in consultation with President Boykai and took 500,000 assets out of a vehicle. They see NASCO. And guess what? John Lobo riding one of the vehicles in the city of Monrovia as I speak to you. A contractor, a government vehicle. Not only that, the $10 million project in Foya, NASCO is helping to bankroll that project. That $10 million project in Foya, NASCO is helping to bankroll it. When somebody says CDC should not be talking, we're talking because we know your hand in the cookie jar. President Boyka, including himself, the United Party hand, dangerously in the cookie jar. When you go to LPRC, you run. When you go to NASCO on NAFA, or you go to NOCA, you will be shocked. You will be shocked in one day. In one day at NOCA, at the UBA account, I got a document, we're just waiting for the battle. One day they pay the contractor almost $500,000 at 1 p.m. and at 5 p.m. Under this government. The contractor, they say that Safwa gave him contract. The government pay the money to him. They see contractor Hassan, that the one who did Joseph Boyka House expansion. Why NOCA does not have the 7th floor? The adjustment of the contract told NOCA to extra 2 floors, the 6th and 7th floor, but they're not doing 7th floor. They only stop at 6. That money they took it to expand Joseph Boyka House. Already, we're ready for battles. We have self-government and we're privileged to documents and information. We've been waiting for this moment. We'll fight them in their own government because we have prima facie evidence against them. That's why Vabamu, or how you call him, he's not going nowhere. You won't go after the former president, go after in the 300,000 they told. You said that the former president and the company, y'all go arrest the people. Go arrest them. Vabamu know why you get the money to them. What are they in Bay School? They in Bay Hospital, they in Bay Hospital, y'all go after them. But why Boyka not going after them? Because they let Grace arrange with NASCO to surprise the president in your home in Foya for that $10 million project. That had the late Grace wrote NASCO for that first money for the vehicles. These are records. The order is from 2022 to what? That 2024 or that only 2023. The audit that they're talking about. But why they're not talking about the $500,000? Why are they cherry picking? Why Mame? I want Mame to be on the show and escape. Let me tell you why Mame fighting Pepsi West. And why he's fighting Safwa. The battle will ensue against the United Party. He's fighting Safwa and Pepsi West because Pepsi West was the general counsel for NOCA. And she became vice president for NOCA. And Safwa was there. They dismissed him. He was dismissed. And he couldn't report the car. And because they broke down NOCA, they damaged NOCA, there was no money, so they couldn't pay their school fees. That's why my man fighting Pepsi well. A qualified woman, the last time he came on the show said that Joe, we have made a woman to get scholarship to go. Hey, mama, you're not smarter than her. You're not more than you smart. It was advertised, her credential was put on everything in the newspaper, like you. You want to custom her academic credential, mama? You're not more than I can't custom you. I will not custom her. She's a qualified lawyer of the Republic of Liberia. Why they took her from NASCO and get a job to Murphy County, the Unity Party lawyer? Why they left Verbamo there? Because she didn't get your government kickback. When you request her for money for her, she said, no, I will not have my signature. Now you have $500,000 or signature now on it. That she get to you for car. Now your $10 million or signature now on it. Even under the CDC administration in terms of the housing project, or signature or nothing that would have been conflict of interest. I defy the United Party government to bring any document. We got a moral right to talk because these are criminals who come to power. They only wanted to steal. And they pretentiously presented themselves as the political messiah. They presented themselves as somebody who will redeem and rescue this country. They don't have the moral standing. That's why we have the voice. You say Akara's Gray were on Central Bank, CBO, they see Mame King on the show and Miss Lester.
That make progress. We gotta go.
Only for $45,000. Me, Bofo Chimwe, Tomo Fara, Jeff for the other report of Camel, you go realize they say ECOWAS.
I can't will let you respond. Let's make progress. We gotta go.
We got 30 seconds. Please, I beg you. Please. We're in flight are very dangerous.
No, you are not. You're just scratch.
There's money laundering ongoing. The money that you can receive from Liberia, every month end, we will make that report that they can send to you to come on the show and other show to just write every day. You writing GSC report.
That's a lot. Let's make progress here. Let's make progress here. That's not true.
Let's make for the money you're getting.
All right, thank you
very much. The
honorable man, thank you very much. You see, thank you very much, honorable great. Let's make this part go properly. No, don't go and say good night. You do this yesterday, you won't do it again. You run away. You talk. You're an honorable man, and you run away from the kitchen. You gotta stay on. But again, I will say this to you, not to take time out time yet. I can't get right to talk, my man. You get this guy. The allegation that he contributed to CDC party headquarters through the channel that we know. You get the word from Bubu State Stadium and there that the government, the president wanted to fire him most recently. They still waiting for Bushiban Keita to prepare the document and send it in. Bushiban, the legal advisor, refusing to do that job. This is why I can't scream and crying. Because the CDC money machine has been alleged. It's the word from Bubu, the word and the rest of them. These people are contributing big time, bigly, to the rebuilding of the CDC party headquarters, right under the eyes and the nose of Joseph Yeman Boyka. The people are angry. This man is silencing other media institutions, not to talk about him. As been alleged. This is a dangerous time, my people. This government will not survive if you have the word from Bubu playing cat and mouse game. Why should we have the word standing over there? The amount of money that live in NASCAR. You take it, you win. You take it, you lose. Kakaleka play because you want to survive in the next government. How should we? Why? Why the Liberian people should even entertain this? Why President Boyka with the report from NASCAR is by evidence that the word should be suspended. Can the president suspend him? Can they hold him into question? These are serious times in our country, and we need to speak to it. Why the word must still have his job? The Liberian people want answer from Joseph Yeman Boyka. We sit down here where they were talking and the people then start smoking peace, pipe, running money. And if you want to contribute to CDC, I don't care. But what we are seeing, these allegations, what we are hearing, that these guys then putting tens of thousands of dollars to CDC party headquarters. And we're sitting out here from day one. That place been bleeding with money. NASCAR is bleeding. There is no band-aid. There is no intervention. Any surgical intervention can stop the bleeding from NASCAR. And we're sitting out here, you see our cars grading. They are bold to come and tell us you can do nothing. We're coming back. They are bold, Tama. Because you know what? They get the people that are sucking the money from this government. I don't blame them. I blame Joseph Yeman Boyka. Let's make progress, Tamba. Let's hear you. Tamba.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. It was a good show. I miss you guys a little bit for a week. I'm getting better energy now. Hopefully, I'll be back regularly as usual. But when we come on this show, Stanton, as I've always said, to talk about Liberia, for me, Liberia comes first. Liberia comes first over my loyalty to a political party. Liberia will always come first over my loyalty to an individual. And I understand the passion with which, people who are in the opposition or who have found themselves out of power now, come forward to spew a lot because, as you rightly said, CEO, sometimes the lack of action or inaction or the slowness by which this government is moving sometimes to address the issue of corruption is giving people who have no moral rectitude whatsoever to come on here and talk about the issue of corruption. But it is their right. As Liberians, every Liberian should have the right to speak against the ills of society, even if some of them were there for 6 years or 12 years and they misused that authority. Article 34, Section E of the Constitution actually gave the legislature the power to constitute courts inferior to the Supreme Court, including claim courts or other courts as prescribed in the powers that they may deem necessary. So this is where the power of the legislature comes in. This is where sometimes I feel that the legislature can feel like a rubber stamp. And I understand the power of the presidency and the power of the stamp of the purse. But the legislature, sometimes the people who elect them to go there, they ask themselves, what is our legislators doing for us? What are our senators and our representatives doing for us? How are they holding the government feet to their account? How are they bringing check and balance? You know, how will someone like Senator Howard Che be linked to a corruption allegation of $300,000 or $600,000 or even $2 million with a bogus construction company? Instead of he being there to support the work and the interests of his community and his county and his district. So for me, the fight against corruption, Stanton, we understand that President Walker has shown more willingness than the previous 6 years of the CDC-led government to fight corruption. But sometimes it feels like it's moving at a snail pace. Von Barnes have been executive director of NASCAR for the last 3 governments. Why is he still there? What is the interlocking relationship that is keeping him there, despite the fact that there are reports linking him to corruption, bribery allegation, trying to buy influence to retain his position? He should be suspended, even if it is a tenure position. When there's clear evidence against someone who is in a tenure position, they should be suspended pending the outcome. But look, the fight against corruption, CEO, must change. Something radical has to happen. It must continue to be a multifaceted approach, which means you have to move swiftly on prosecuting corruption cases, allegation of corruption. You have to suspend more people, but prosecute. Let's institute some real action and sanction. Ban people for a lifetime. Change the law if you have to change it. But look, we have so much to do. When I look at the group of 77 or disabled community protesting in the streets of Monrovia, it hurts my heart. When I see many college graduates across Monrovia reaching out, big brother, some of them they can even be older than you, but they're calling you big brother because they want you to help them. There's no job. There are no jobs across the country. It pains me when you still have hospitals and clinics and schools without the proper equipment or staffing or training needed to really help the next generation. It pains me. And for me, this is where we say, look, as much as we support this president, but we want his actions to move this country forward. We want him to take swift action and hold people accountable for corruption, remove them. If you have to change that like diapers, do that. You know, someone has said that on the show before. Do that. But we need to put the interest and the need of this country first. Let's cater to the social economic well-being of our people. That's what Liberia is yearning for. That's what Liberia is crying for. Not individuals, not 1% of the population, Satan. So look, this has been a really good show. It's always a pleasure to come on here and advocate and speak on behalf of our people. Let's move this country forward. Let's put this country forward. Thank you, Stanton.
Thank you, Tama. Thank you very much. We're going to hear from the Honorable Paul Kennedy, Jefferson Chessie, and then Mama will take us home.
Yeah, thank you, Stanton. I think it was a good show. When we always come to discuss difficult issues confronting our country, regardless of our party affiliation or our differences as colleagues, it behooves us to be objective when we speak about issues concerning our people. Senator, if government is not well structured, our people will continue to suffer into the next decade. Because the economic realities of the 21st century has changed. I don't want to say it's changing. It has changed. Before then, you had government that were giving aid all around. The American government is cutting aid, and they're going to continue to cut aid from helping other people. Wars, there will be rumors of war. There will be war in other nations that are superpower nations, and that in itself going to bring some challenges for industrial country. When those things happen, the countries that suffer most are countries like Liberia. because at that time, the dependency on foreign aid, the dependency on international assistance, all dwindles because now you have to take care of yourself, right? So Liberia needs to rethink its strategy. And when I say Liberia, I'm talking about our leaders, people who are opportune to have the ability to lead the country, to lead the country into prosperity, have to do this with sincerity. They have to be strategic about it. They have to be meaningful about it. If they're not, we're going to keep saying this very thing for the next 10, 20 years if God gave us that length of time to live. In an institution like NASCOP or NOCA or all of these companies we're talking about here, supposed to be integrity companies that should be bringing money to our people. The other day I talked about the cost sharing, the profit sharing agreement in the NOCA Act. Mame, you should know about it. That when the oil resources come, Liberia and every Liberia, all 5 million of us should get some of that money to an account. Has that even happened? Or it was only good on paper when NOCA Act was set up. But since NOCA became a functioning institution, nobody can tell me they put $1 million aside to say we'll divide the money among people or we'll give it to the Liberian people. And any government that is not doing that is flooding, is stealing from the Liberian people. Because when the Act and the Constitution said this is supposed to be done on behalf of the people, and the government come to power and don't do it, then the government is stealing from the people, right? So we really need to be honest with ourselves. LACC and all these, integrity institutions doing audits, how is that coming back to persecution of the people who are found to be, indicted, maybe even guilty? All right, you say the guilty, you take them off their job. Then what? What's happening to the people who have been, suspended or dismissed from their position as a result of fraud? So they just go work scot-free, and the next election time they run for representative or senator, and the Liberian people elect them again? These things need to stop, or else the country will continue to go in the same direction it's going. So every night when we take our time and come here to discuss the issues, we are only regurgitating and being repetitive on things that will happen again if the right measures are not put in place. Mame, just before I close, we have the Local Government Act and the County Development Agenda. Those two laws gave Liberian, the 15 counties, some autonomy. But the central government is afraid to even delegate the autonomy under the laws the county have, because they want the money all sitting down to fund administration, and the people they're taking it away from the county. Sometimes allocations don't go to the county for a long time.
Paul, can I interrupt you? You brought something up which is so good, Paul. The Internal Affairs Minister, he was there today. They tried to question him about the money that was in the budget. The man ate all the money. The one that they allocated, Paul. Let's listen to him briefly. I beg you. I know you stay in fly. I want us to listen to him. The money that they allocated, they say, my man, the man said he would do this, do that. The question, man, let's listen to him.
In the case of the House, we just sent a third communication a few weeks ago requesting a list of projects from the Honorable House, individual projects, giving us the location so that we verify the site, and then we go through the tender. At the level of the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry is cooperating very well. Requirements are to come from the legislature, the higher regime, as far as the House projects are concerned. What the assurance we have is that the Ministry of Finance is prepared and willing to make the funds available once we complete the process. We have communicated that with the leadership of the House and waiting for you to just do the needful for us to begin the implementation with immediate effect. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Go ahead, Lamar. Thank you, Minister.
Approach your chair.
You see how they protected the man that said inquiry? You know where he was going? Now you know the saying that the majority black and the minority black, right? The minister just lied. We are in October. That money gone. The people want to say, but the money belongs to our district and our county. The minister lied. So the person from the minority black said inquiry. The speaker, not exactly. It was all stage managed. He said approach the bench. Then when the person wanted to, all the other guys that supported it say no inquiry, no inquiry. This is terrible for our country. And that's where our problem begins. And that's where our problem ends. Internal Affairs Minister, you remember the 50,000 Musa ability they're crying about? That's what they're talking about. So now the guy said inquiry. They said, no, approach the bench, no inquiry. Because they know the problem that was about to come up. But poor Kennedy, you just reminded me to play this. We are in some serious situation in our country. If we don't have leadership change, forget it. Liberia will never, ever be any better.
And Stanton, we continue to say it, but of course, if you don't have power, you speak to the very Liberian people, they tend to ignore what you are telling them. Or if you don't have money, they tend to ignore what you are telling them. And as a result, they see the kind of living they're going through. If the Internal Affairs Minister knew what the hat he's wearing stand for, he would not even wear that hat. That hat is a colonial hat worn by masters, people who came from England to exploit our people. Then he wear it, he's standing there in our...
But Paul, back in the days, it used to be hip, right? Because everybody was trying to what? Identify with that clique of people.
With the colonial, yes.
Because it's like, even to get ahead in society.
That hat is demeaning to our people. It's not a good hat. But he's wearing it and they're talking. Look, but Senator, let me just tell you something. Our people have to think of who they elect, because government is the enabler for the life you live. To live a better life, your government has to set the stage. I see people, we don't need to depend on government for everything. I agree. But if government does not set the standards, I don't care what business you invest in, it's going to diminish over time, because standards need to be set. The enabling environment needs to be created. Even the school system you are going to needs to be supported from a regulatory base so that the quality of education your children get is better. The health system needs to be augmented so that, of course, it's able to cover all of the citizens. So government has a big role to play, right? And the people who serve in those positions have to have integrity. They need to be honest. They need to have vision, and they need to have empathy. So it was a good show, Stanton. And we're always willing to come to share our experience. Liberian people have to think outside of the box, and they have to do things differently if they want to get different results. You keep electing the same. I always spoke a parable. I say you can take a man from a 3-bedroom house and put him in a 5-bedroom house. If he used to people to pay on the 3-bedroom house, you carry him to the 5-bedroom house, he will still people to pay. Changing his environment does not take his attitude from him. You elect a criminal, somebody who used to steal when he was a minister, as a senator or a representative, they're going to continue to steal in the House of Representatives or the House of Senate. Liberian people, you need to revisit the people you make your leaders, because they will improve your life or they will cause your life to continue to diminish. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's a good show.
24. JJC?
Thank you, Stanton. Thank you very much. And I will tell you, Stanton, why this government cannot prosecute any corruption case. But before we go there, let me just clarify some things Mami said. Mami, I was not in when you said a lot of things, but when I came back, I heard you talking about professional law. Mami, the assistant minister job was my very first government job. I worked for the UN. When I left the UN, I worked for the EU. I worked for the World Bank. I worked for the USAID. My last position was a procurement specialist for USAID Liberia projects. Secondly, you should know that no one that work for any international organization will enter the employment with all being background checked. If I did anything at any of my previous workplace, I would not have another job in the international community. I've worked internationally and locally with international partners, like the World Bank, EU, the UN, USAID. My last position was a consultant with the USAID. That's a high-profile job. You don't know me. My first job in the government was being appointed by former President Weir as assistant minister. Before then, I worked all my life in the international organizations. There are people I work with, they are still there. Every international organization I left, I got a higher position in other places. So there's no way you can commit any crime at one international organization and get a higher job at another international organization. That's not government job. No, my first government job was with Public Works. So leave that. And let me let you know the reason why this government under Bouaka and his gang of thieves cannot prosecute any corruption case is because they are more corrupt than the previous government. And this is why I say, Mame, you support this government and you supported the last government under Eli. Those government was the most corrupt government in our country's history. Ellen presided over a regime that has been labeled and classified as the most corrupt in our country's history. Bouaka, under 2 years, has proven to be more corrupt than the CDC, or almost 2 times more corrupt. I heard Vandela talking about the 500,000 that was given under our administration from NASCOP. Former President we have passed an executive order that you cannot pay anything above $10,000. Fambumbus or whoever you call him were coerced by Bouaka and his Minister of State to release that money. Otherwise, they will remove him from his job. They forced him to give that money, not without the consent of former President Weir. You get almost all the other reports coming out on your own people. You can't prosecute them because you are corrupt. I have never worked with government. That was my first job, my man. You don't know me. I'm not. I did not speak to your integrity. I spoke to the fact that you don't have the right to speak about corruption. We do, because we fought corruption. Your government hands are in the cookies jar stealing. You didn't come to rescue. You came to steal. And this is evident by what you're doing. You've gone almost 2 years. You haven't convicted one past government official for corruption. You promised that you are going to prosecute corruption in this country when you take power. You have voted on that basis. But up to now, you cannot. You cannot prosecute one person or have one person convicted for corruption. No, you can't, because you are corrupt yourself. Let's talk about the Metex contract. You say you're going to end that contract with a bad deal. You came, what did you do? You changed the names and put your names there. In less than 1 year, many of your officials are caught in corruption in the same Metex deal. So you can. You lack the capacity. Bouaka has no fresh ideas to run this country. He has ran out of steam. The country is in autopilot. Corruption has taken over and will get worse, Stanton. It will get worse. Pushing forward to 2029, most of the government officials will get more corrupt than what you're seeing now. This government has no intention of fighting corruption. They don't have that intention. You promised during your first speech to the nation that you're going to establish a fast-track court to prosecute corruption cases. What happened? What happened hasn't been submitted to the legislature? Why? If you serious about fighting corruption, you cherry pick. You are involved in every corruption scandal. You still keep your people in position that have been prosecuted for corruption. The coalition Lofa, they have indicted the man. Up to now, he's still serving your government. Many government officials have been indicted for corruption. They are not removed from the position. Bwaka is complicit in corruption. He's the president. All the guys are his agent. He's vicariously liable for corruption in his country. Because those that are committing the crimes are his agents. And he well, then he cannot take any action. So no, the government is corrupt, my man. Don't protect them. Don't protect them. They will never prosecute one former government official for corruption. They will never. They will never, because they are involved. Like what Honorable Grace said, you move Mrs. Yeke from that place simply because she stood in the way of that 500,000 being released from NASCOP. That's why you took her off, regardless of the fact she had 10 new jobs. And Mame would not have behaved the way Bwaka did by taking people from 10 new jobs. No. Fambumbusa had a 10 new job. And he performed. And he was reappointed. Yes, we couldn't have moved him. There are other people, your people, that are on 10 new jobs. We kept them there. But no, Bwaka can't remove them to put his own corrupt people into positions. You did not come to rescue Mame. You came to steal from the Liberian people. The Bwaka administration and the Unity Party are gangs of thieves. They don't have the teeth to bite on corruption. They lie to the Liberian people. Up to now, that nothing has been done about fighting corruption. You only move people from position because you want to put your people there. You did not prosecute them. What happened with the Noka issue? Why they haven't prosecuted that case? What happened with the fishery? Why up to now you only move the people pretending like you want to fight corruption because you want to put your corrupt partisan into those positions? Simple. You did not fight corruption. You're not fighting corruption. If you're fighting corruption, by now the people will be in court fighting to exonerate themselves. If those allegations were, but they are not. You only move the people to put your own corrupt people there. So no, your government is corrupt, very corrupt. They cannot fight corruption. They lack the capacity to do that. Thank you, Stanton. And today was a very good show, Stanton. I appreciate the job you do, and it's good for our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mame. Thank you very much. Jeff, Mame, take us home.
Yeah, let me say this. We started. I will come to you, but let me speak to the core issue here. We started with highlighting two major transactions that will create NASCOP. We will go a step further. We're receiving additional information. The $2 million that were transferred in August of 2023, Akara, what sense does it make? We say you transfer $2 million in 2023. Then you tell me, say, I spent some to build housing unit in 2018. I mean, what sense does it make? In 2023, then you telling me you spend it in 2018. It doesn't make sense. So Akara need to go and come back and tell us the $2 million that was sent to NASCOP in August of 2023. What housing project NASCOP spent it on between August to January 2024? All the projects he talked about, say, Popo Beach was constructed way 2018. 19, 20, 21, 22, almost 4 years before this payment was made. So it's illogical to say you received $2 million in 2023, but then you're telling me that you spend it in 2018. It's illogical. Abachi and his Southeastern Solution received $300,000 to build in November of 2018, when the election of 2023, when the election was going on. In the middle of the election, he and his Southeastern Solution received $300,000, claiming they were building schools in Grand Crew County. You came to represent the people. The least you can do for them is to not do anything, but not to steal in their name. Not to steal in their name. We have asked county officials, they've not seen any school built by Southeastern Solution through NASCOP for Grand Crew County. Those are the things we're talking, and the LACC should be able to move in to begin to investigate these things. We saw them a few days to NACO insurance company. running behind $15,000 transaction. Yeah, we're talking about $2 million. We're talking about 300,000. They should muster that same courage to go to it. Jefferson, you and I, like I said before, and we're meeting here, and everybody know that our own school people know Jefferson. We went to school. We live in communities, in workplaces. The society know us. Spoon cannot change me to be a criminal. Spoon cannot change you to be a good man. The records are there. You were a United Party person. You ran on United Party's ticket as United Party candidate in District 17. But today, for 6 years, you are with United Party. I don't have problem with you moving from one place to another, but you were with them. You were on United Party's ticket as United Party's candidate, campaigning with Ellen. But besides that, you were a public works ministry. They dismissed you from there. You were there seeing Jeff recently, right after 2023, were complaining that you get Pepsi, you can't know how many $1,000 for a job. That's not how people can get a job. Yes, it. You are the first person in Georgia government to have been caught for defrauding government. You were using public works detail-free privileges to divert continuums. That's what you did. Even when small in the community, Sarah Beslo Nyanti, brother, her family know your story. Don't push us. Let's just leave it. Your character will speak for you. My character will speak for me. People know us. Spoon cannot change us. Rawa Salif did not send me to school. The people that Rawa Salif sent to school, nobody canceled a scholarship. The people Rawa Salif sent to school, nobody there canceled a scholarship. They went to school, they completed, they came back. Pepsi Yeke Wef, that one of them. I came to school in 2018, and they canceled my scholarship. And I went to school through means I'm proud of. So yes, the people Rawa Salif sent to school, nobody canceled a scholarship. I Pepsi Yeke Wef, who canceled a scholarship? Nobody. But when I came to school, immediately in 2018, canceled my scholarship. But I went to school. So you all found different stories. But spoon cannot make you good. Spoon cannot make me bad. We live our life from kindergarten to 12th grade to university to community. People know us and they know you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nelson, can you come on? We appreciate each and every one of you. Come back again tomorrow. So therefore, tomorrow, Paul Kennedy Tamba, Agadas, and Jefferson Chesson, and every one of you will be going deeper into NASCA, into LEC, LRA. The other reports out will be talking about the LACC report that they just put up also. It's going to be a unique program tomorrow. We want to tell you, man, just sit back and enjoy the show. We got to push this government, and we got to push for the better change. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Jefferson Chessie. Have a good night. Paul Kennedy, have a good night. Tamba.
Thank you, Stanton. You have a good show today.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, every one of you. Again, I will say to all of you, thank you for everything you continue to do, the birthday, the graduation greetings to James Golden Flomo. Yes, indeed, he made us proud. We want to recognize him. Happy graduation day to him as he enjoyed himself. Since the man graduated, well, according to the man, I can pick up my phone, Nelson. Seriously, I'm concerned.
The celebration.
Wow, so you can't even customer us now, right?
After the
all right. After the celebration, we'll have the after party. I want to say to you, thank you very much, Nelson. It's always good having you. Till we meet again, may God bless you. May God bless the entire network. Sorry for the glitch that we experienced on the show. We're trying to dig deeper and investigate, but thank you for spending the rest of your time, your evening on this program with us. We appreciate every one of you. Now, I'm going to call the last 10 individual names here to recognize them. Nelson, can you see? Is that Panaco? I think that the name. Bobby Zina White, we appreciate you. Mervyn Diagay, thank you for joining us. Fede Bala, as always. I know Fede will be among the 10. Musa Hassan Beliti. Oh my God. See you, my man. I'm calling you too, Musa. It's good to see you, Chairman. Wendy Brown, it's good to see you. Musa, I will call you, don't worry. Okay, let me call Musa. You have a good night.
Leader, Chairman, see you.
But the thing confused, I'm not a chairman for Liberty Party, chairman for CPP. The man are chairman for life. And, you know, but you only say Levante party, like good party together, one party headquarters. So we'll tell without them all. So thank you very much, Nelson. Have a good day. Let me pack my stuff and go in peace. Bye, folks. Enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Well, thanks to everyone for being here again. We appreciate you. You can join us tomorrow for another Spoon Talk. The program will be live. But I want to say thanks to all of our partner radio stations, Voice of Liberia, Trust FM in Bowman County, Premier FM in Bong, Trend Radio in Grand Crew, Radio Yalaman in Seclipi, Nimba County, and all the other radio stations relaying the program. We appreciate you all. And we want to say thanks as well to the many of you who shared the program across your different chat rooms and social media handles. We appreciate you as well for doing just that. And thanks to the many of you who called in from the very start of the program, sharing your thoughts, saying what's on your minds. We appreciate you as well for that. And we look forward to being here tomorrow. But just before we go, let me do a special birthday greeting to you, Mr. Amos Moses Weefor. You're celebrating. It's already 12 a.m. here in Liberia. So you're celebrating your birthday today. I want to say happy birthday to you. I wish you all the best. Thanks for being an ardent follower of the Spoon Talk, and we appreciate you. I want to say happy birthday to you. And again, congratulations to James Kude Flomo as he graduates today from university there in Poland. Congratulations to you, James. We wish you all the best. And thanks for keeping your head up high. And yes, to all of you celebrating one way or the other, we say thanks. We say congratulations to you, or happy birthday to you. And that is if you're celebrating your birthday today. We look forward to being here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Nelson Colette. Yes, have a good night. Josh Morris Jr., Jorancy, we are. Charles Delan, thank you for being here. Passcode. We appreciate you as well for being here with us. Yes, we look forward to being here tomorrow. Until then, have a good night and bye-bye for now.
I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.